the start of the 9th round of the Whoop UCI World Series. They're on the starters' orders and they are off, and it's Luca Martin, a good start. Christopher Blevins too as well, coming through. Charlie Aldridge from the second row, just coming up the outside. And we're onto this start loop. So first lap, we're going to do a half lap, a little less technical, a little bit of a chance to move up, but still, you've got to watch what the other riders are doing, Josh.
That's right, we saw in the women's race earlier, this first little rock garden, we've got somewhat of a simple start. You can see we go around the rock garden to begin with. We head up the hill. There is an uphill rock garden which wreaked havoc in our elite women's field earlier, so the riders will have to pay attention here. The point of the start loop, it spreads our field out, gives them a chance to get into a bit of an order before we get stuck into the single track part of this course. On the screen, we can just see Tyler Orshall come off a fantastic result in Lenzerheide a couple of weekends ago. He's still building on that momentum as we get into his home country race in Mont-Saint-Anne.
So we're on to this single track climb. This is new for last year. Previously it was a long forest road. We now cut the corner, which means it's narrow, it's steeper, a bit techie in parts as well. But the main thing is the riders have to completely narrow out, as we see it is Azaro trying to get round his compatriot Koretsky. Koretsky just dropping the wheel a little bit. As we crest the top here, it goes straight into that descent.
We got sunlight, we got leaves, we got rocks, we got roots, multiple lines coming back and forth. And look at the dust. It's definitely, as the riders come through, it's getting worse and worse.
We're dropping down the first descent here. Multi-line dust, rocks, roots, big fast berm at the bottom.
And also, those little drops, they can really catch you off guard if you're not quite paying attention. You've got to think these riders will be keen to see the Whoop data sooner rather than later. But
speed.
This berm is somewhat of a wall ride.
We see Christopher Blevins, the pace already super hot. Blevins and Luca Martin already in zone 5, so that long climb's pushing them to the limit.
Yeah, 187 beats a minute for Martin. So you can see he's into zone 5, whereas Blevins is still in zone 4 right now, so seemingly calm. We do know Martin revs a little higher than most, and he is a bit younger.
Lucas Chiatti coming through. 15th board, the Bix rider, followed by Boischi, followed by Puntner.
Simon Andreasen predicted this being a much more of a bunch race here today. We heard Chris talk about being a much more of a bunch race with the speeds, with these big wide open climbs. Look, they're almost 3 abreast as they come across the top there. Now, not a huge effort from Boischi on the front and Chiatti.
Yeah, Chiatti rider really come on.
Maybe the boost to that brand new team on the front of the elite pack here. Just getting word from Rick McLaughlin that Charlie Aldridge may be struggling just a little with this early pace. He's just on the rear wheel of Riley Amos here. So Riley, as we mentioned, had a really fast lap to bridge to this front group.
Koretsky drifting back as well, back into 20th position now after a good start. So he's going south, but a rider that's definitely on the move. Fabio Puntner. Poor short track, had to come through from mid-pack, but he's absolutely flying now. Just freshly signed for the new Scott Schramm team.
I know for a fact that that bike that he's riding, got to ride that last weekend, Filippo Colombo's bike, and that bike descends incredibly, so he'll be able to make the most of that. Big, strong, powerful diesel-type rider that can now take advantage of those very steep and rough descents.
And here we go, just starting a fresh lap, and it's Fabio Puntner from Marti Zazzare, Adrian Boischi, Christopher Blevins, Luca Martin, making now a front group of 5, and it's the pressure of Fabio Puntner, fresh on his new Scott Spark.
Interesting just watching Vital Alban there trying to clean his glasses, so the sweat and the dust make this even more difficult to see. That spotted light is going to get harder and harder this afternoon as we get into the woods. The yellow autumn leaves make the light even kind of warmer in there, which blend it all together with this lighter dirt.
It's Fabio Puntner. He's not hanging around. He's not asking for any help from anyone, just driving at the front. And see, Luca Martin just letting the wheels go a little bit.
Hey, what if Chris Blevins is sitting on the back of this bunch at a 13 stress rating score? I wouldn't be telling any of those other riders that.
See this group just fracture its muscle. Guarini going on, and It's a very physical circuit, this one. It's a long climb all the way from that base. You've got small little bits of descent, but generally all the way through from the feed station on the shooting range up to the peak of the course. You're on pressure on the pedals.
Look at them coming through here. I love this section.
We see Marcel Guarini getting back on the wheel and Simone Avendetto. So those two riders getting away, and Avendetto's made the junction. He's back onto the wheel of this group for the Vittoria rider.
Keep an eye on this section. We mentioned this before, and Chris mentioned this in the course preview. It's a short little punch, but as they come out of that little descent, you can smack it around that berm and get up and out of sight. We saw this in the women's race. Jenny was out of sight and out of mind. Simone Avendetto getting onto that lead group there, onto Blevins' wheel, so he can smack it up that short little climb, 600-700 watts like Blevins. Oh, this is a move here. This looks quite serious at the minute.
I think Chris Blevins, he was happy in that group of 5. Could just control things a little bit. It's quite safe. If that pace let off, all of a sudden you're letting Aldridge and another whole group come back into the mix. So.
Yeah, you're right here. Look at that ollie. Charlie's already almost on the back of that wheel. This is a big move from Blevins here. Putner's going with him. This might be the start of a charge from Christopher Blevins, the number 1 on his back.
Yeah, Blevins looking back, not wanting to let that next group get on board. Doesn't want to get messy again, and he knows the form of Charlie Aldridge. Interested to see if he'll continue to combine the mountain bikes. Well, look great if he will do.
Look at this. Is that Charlie Aldridge?
Aldridge using the descent to get back onto the back of this main front group. And what a descent by Charlie Aldridge. Closing 6 seconds on the descent. There we go. All the riders bearing right. Multi-line section. This Aldridge he's just got a little bit left to go, but dropping Guarini and Vidare on that descent. British rider, now he can carry speed just as these riders get snarled up in the group. There we go, we got this front group of 7 now. A little bit of a gap to Marcel Guarini and Martin Vidare. So Aldridge has made it across. It was Avendetto who got across first, then Aldridge.
Putner on the outside there. So it is great to see Putner rewarded with a factory ride, but we can't forget the team that supported him getting there, the bike team Solothorn.
Yeah.
A great bunch of humans.
Oh, we just see a little replay there. That's Cesaro just on the dust. We talked about how important it is to concentrate.
And there's definitely a lot of hidden ghoulies in the loose dirt there, starting to break up just a little. So a bunch of loose rocks. We heard from Lucas Shaw saying that the downhill track was much more similar to the west coast and the east coast with this soft, loose dirt. So Azaro just copping it there with a loose ghoulie and going down. Maxime Marot taking in the racing and enjoying everything that Lake Placid has to offer in this Olympic iconic venue.
But the pressure's going on now. It's Avendetto, Blevins, Boishy. You see Azaro pulling faces. Martin as well, just starting to puff a little bit.
Look at Martin. That strain gauge starting to really wreak havoc on his form in these later parts of the race. Charlie Aldridge somewhat struggles with the heat, and he's starting to get dagged off the back. Fabio Putner's getting dagged as well.
Avendetto causing chaos on this climb, really putting the pressure on. This group splitting all over the place.
And look at Vidura.
The Swiss rider from Scott Schramm has come back to this group on the last lap, making a group of 6 riders now coming in. We're about 9.5 minutes of racing left. This last lap at Lake Placid.
Oh, look at this. We thought they'd bolted. MG
and Guarini and Luca Martin are coming back in as well. So
this ain't over yet.
We spoke too soon, and nobody's going to want. So we see the super duper mix, the last lap special for Chris Blevins. The nitrous goes in.
The nitrous goes in, and it's instant absorption.
Nicholas Tucker, bobsleigh Olympic athlete. It rings the bell to start our last lap, and we have got a group of 8 riders going into this last lap on the climb. It's going to be a fight for this rock garden. It's going to be a fight for that rock garden halfway up the climb.
Now we know that Martin is well into the red from his Whoop strain gauge. Can he hold on off pure adrenaline? Marcel Guarini has been yo-yoing back and forth. It's Putner to the front of the rock garden. Where's Blevins? He's dropped back to 5th wheel.
So just when we wrote Fabio Punta, well, I wrote him off, and now I'm looking down.
It's Blevins on the front. The pace goes up, and Boischi is glued to his rear tyre. Look at the strain from Azzaro. Azzaro now is struggling to hold the wheel. Suck him in, son. Verdure holds on to Azzaro, and then it's Avendetto. Puntner, the early effort, he is struggling right now, but Blevins puts down the power.
Blevins from Boischi, from Azzaro. Azzaro, you could see just letting the gap go, and the gap is just there at the top for Dari, struggling to get back on terms. And Christopher Blevins, can he do the double on home soil here? So here we are.
Boischi up the inside.
Launches. Boischi launch. He wants to climb first. He goes past Blevins.
It's Azzaro fighting
a little bit then. And Azzaro into third place. It's Boischi who leads into the climb. This is his chance. Can he put the pressure on? Can he get the gap?
He's made it happen now into this awkward little rock garden here. It's Blevins.
Come on.
Is this going to be a carbon copy of our XCC final from Friday night? They've distanced Azzaro. It's Verdura off the back, but it's Blevins and Boischi that is charging up this final climb. Matisse Azzaro is getting dagged. Can he fight back on? But it's Boischi. Boischi is charging.
So Boischi, the young under-23 rider from his team captain, the overall leader Blevins, getting the gap on Azzaro from Verdare. You see the speed in that fight for that bottom corner. That's when you can make the difference. Boischi knew it.
Into the descent, it's Boischi that leads. Blevins is on the wheel, looking comfortable. This is his strongest suit here, but it's Boischi on the inside. Blevins comes back across in a key moment of this race.
And it's Christopher Blevins. If he wins this race, he will win and wrap up the overall. Do team tactics come into play? Every man for himself.
Surely it's an awkward team dinner if it doesn't. Look at the gap. Look at the gap now. The boys have sensed it, and they have attacked off the front. Boischi is off the front. It's Blevins. It's Blevins. Blevins around the outside. Blevins attacks over the top of Boischi into the upper tech zone. This is the moment of the race. This is the moment of the season and the moment of the overall title.
But Boischi's got it covered. Now they roll into the descent. We've got that one punchy climb left. Then the descent. And remember, it's such a long start-finish straight. We go past the Big Bear and through into the biathlon area.
There is mere meters. Chris knows what he needs to do. Boischi knows what he needs to do, and so does Verdura.
Okay, so Boischi's in prime position. He's going to come off the wheel of Christopher Blevins. Blevins looks behind. He sees Boischi in the wheel. It's going to come down to a sprint between these two riders. Who's going to take this one? Is it Christopher Blevins? Is it Adrian Boischi? Watch out for Verdare coming in Azzaro as well. We're going to come up to the sprint. It's Christopher Blevins leading out. His teammate Adrian Boischi coming off the wheel. It's Blevins. It's Blevins taking it. Can Boischi come round? Christopher Blevins wins. He takes the double in Lake Placid, winning the overall and taking the first US men's overall title since John Tomac in 1991 and equals Ned Overend and Tomac's XCO record of 5 wins. Whoa! History is made in Mount Van Hoevenberg, Lake Placid. Christopher Blevins does the double, beating his teammate Adrian Boischi in a sprint. He wins the race. He wins the overall. Wow. The first male senior rider to win the overall since the legendary John Tomac back in 1991.
Have just made history. The first American male elite since 1991 to capture the World Cup overall title. What do you have to say?
Oh, man. Just thank you to everyone in my corner. I love this sport. I feel like I say that a lot, but it's because I mean it a lot. And everything about it. It was a beautiful race. Again, Adrian and I, for the sprint, kind of looked back at him and smiled. And yeah, it's been an amazing year with the team. I've really had to believe in myself again and again. Yeah.
Hope you get 12 for next week. But there we go. That's your top 10. Blevins, Boischi, Azzaro, Vidaru, Avendetto, Puntner. This is Azzaro, Adrian Boischi, and your winner today. Home rider Christopher Blevins does the double for the third time this season. Short track win on Friday, cross-country win on Sunday. It's his third win of the season and the overall title. First American male since 1991. And there we go, our overall standings. Christopher Blevins, amazing season. Takes the overall title with a round to spare. 3 wins in the XCO. Hands of Martin Vidar at the moment. Luca Martin, Mattia Cesaro, that's going to go down to the wire for the podium positions. Adrian Boischi moving up to 11th.